You're listening to Dramas Over Flowers. This is an episode of What's Up in Dramaland with Saya, Anissa, and Boromir. Hi, thanks for joining us. I'm Saya. In this episode, we'll be taking a quick look at current industry news as it pertains to K-drama fans, and we'll be updating you with the dramas set to premiere in the month ahead. This podcast is a project by fans for fans. If you want to be a part of making that dream grow, there are a whole lot of ways you can help. You can share our episodes on fan sites and social media, talk about the podcast to your K-drama loving friends, or leave a review on iTunes or whichever app or platform that you use to listen to us. And if you want to help us keep our lights on, you can check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/dramasoverflowers. Finally, you can get in touch with us with your thoughts and ideas. We're always reading the comments on YouTube and Drama Beans, but you can also tweet at us at dramasoverflow or email us at dramasoverflowers@gmail.com. And that's it from me. Enjoy the episode and tell us what you're looking forward to. Bye. Hi everyone, this is Saya and I'm back.
And this is Anissa. Boromir couldn't make it, but we have a special guest who you're all already familiar with, and that's Lollipip. Hi, Lollipip. Say hi.
Hello. Hi.
Thanks for coming back.
Oh, no problem. I'm excited.
We were planning to ask her to come anyway, but I think this month ended up being a good month for it because we have like some K-pop related stories, and as y'all know, Lollipip is a K-pop expert and enthusiast, so.
Well, I'm still in planning.
Also planning to take over the podcast and turn it into a BTS podcast.
Which probably has some life in it.
I'm sure there are already many BTS podcasts.
Oh, that's probably also true.
All right. So this is what we originally wanted to have Lollipip on to get her expert opinion. There was a big scandal that broke about ProduceX 101, and none of us watched this show, but I know it's like very popular. And Lollipip, you watched this show, right?
I've seen both of the guys' seasons, and I've seen part of the girls' season.
At least you're like a lot more familiar with it than we are, even if you haven't like watched every season.
For people who aren't familiar with the show, could you just quickly describe what the show is and what it does?
Yes, that's important. Thanks, Saya.
Because I have no idea what it is.
Basically, Produce 101 is a series where they take, it's mostly idols in training, but it might also be idols, like in the second season with the guys that resulted in, what was it that Con Daniel was in the group?
Oh, Day 6?
No.
Oh.
No?
They all have one in the name of the group somewhere.
So I've only heard of 101.
And it's a play on 101.
Yeah.
And I clearly know nothing about
like,
K-pop.
Like Wana, like WANNA.
They take 101 idol trainees, or sometimes people from groups that weren't doing very well. In the second season, there were I think 3 guys. I have the worst memory for names, I swear.
Oh no,
Don't worry
it's
about
fine.
names. How about like just the concept of the show? Like, how does it work? So there are contestants, and then
You sometimes
then what?
take existing idols. Like in the final season, they had a couple from Uptension, so a few other groups. So it'll either be idols in training, or it will be people from groups that are out there but not maybe doing great, or maybe they were in a group and the group disbanded. So it's people who just basically want to debut in an idol group, and they usually start out with 101. Produce 48, the second girls' season obviously only had 48 of them, and they basically do it American Idol style, but they show you a lot more of the behind-the-scenes stuff, like them practicing and, struggling and doing better, and their practices and their rehearsals and sessions with the trainers and all that. Then they'll show their performances, and then the audience votes. And presumably, then assuming up until this final season that the kids who got the most votes got in the group. And that's the basic idea. But this last season, there were a couple of guys who were really popular, and they tell you each week what their ranking is from 1 down to however many, and then they cut out a certain number of them until they're down to the final however many they're going to have in the group.
And is this ranking based on like audience votes or judging, or
supposed to be 100% audience votes?
Okay.
They show the show, the audience votes over the next week, and then the next week they have elimination. And, you know, the idea being that the most popular, however many, 11, end up in the group. But this last season, there were a couple of guys who were very popular, who were in the top 10 all season long, who didn't somehow make it into the final 11. And it just seemed, and I believe there was one or two guys that were never in the top 10 all season long that suddenly were put in the group. And I started questioning pretty much immediately. I mean, the day that they announced the winners, I was seeing things on Twitter that were like, these votes have got to be manipulated because this doesn't seem right at all that, you know, this guy got in and this guy didn't because the first guy was so much more popular all season long. So it's come out that there was, I mean, they pretty much rated the entire station. And it has come out that there was voter manipulation. And since then, the guy who runs the show basically now has confessed that he's been manipulating. He's confessed to the last two seasons, the ones that resulted in Eyes-1, the girls group, and then X1, the guys group, and he's admitted to those, but they have also found evidence of vote tampering since the beginning.
Yeah, so they booked 10 people, and that included higher-ranking officials from CJ Entertainment, and also the chief producer of the show and the PD, and someone from Starships Entertainment, the vice president, and as you mentioned, An Jun-young, who is, I guess, the producer. He's been receiving favors, and as you said, he admitted to the last two seasons. But yeah, they're definitely investigating this very intensely.
What seems so strange was that every season Starship kids have gotten in. And they'll have, 20, 25 different agencies represented, but always Ship gets in.
Yeah, and there's been, some interviews with like the people that were the contestants. They've interviewed contestants as well about their experience. So it was a big story. So as like someone who watched and like presumably from your posts on Twitter, like really enjoyed the show, like what are your thoughts other than just being like disgusted, obviously, by the manipulation?
I'm so disgusted because I've always been a fan of survival shows. I remember watching the very first American Idol with my mom and getting hooked on it. And I love these kinds of shows. And I feel bad. Mostly my main response is that I feel bad for the groups because it's not their fault. It's not their fault. The guys that got into X1 is the one that I know the most about because I watched every episode of that season. I love them. I love their music. I feel bad that they've had to cancel all of their performances, and for now anyway.
Yeah, and it's like, in a way, even though those kids were, sincere and they're trying their best, it kind of taints even the ones that had success because now people won't think that they got that through their talent, even though I'm sure all the kids on there are talented and really were,
All of the kids that have gotten, and I say kids, they're not kids, they're adults, but, well, some of them are kids. They've all got, I think there's a 14-year-old in X1.
Oh my goodness.
But they all worked so hard, and they all want it so bad. And the ones that made it in are good. I mean, they are talented. They do deserve to be doing what they're doing. It's just that there are other guys who were better and who were objectively better to the point that all of the people watching finally all stood up and went, no, this can't be right because there's no way these two guys didn't get in.
Yeah.
You'd think if they were going to do it, they'd do it more subtly so that nobody caught on.
It wasn't even subtle. I mean, one of the guys that didn't get in was like consistently top 5 all season, and then suddenly he's not even in the top 11. It was just.
Maybe they were being subtle in the first couple of seasons, and then they like kept getting away with it, so they were like, nobody's gonna catch us. Yeah, and they just got like more and more sloppy.
I mean, I heard rumblings about previous seasons, but there was nothing they could pin it on. I think that I think they got greedy.
Yeah.
And I think and I don't understand it, because the two members that I really thought were going to get in that didn't were probably the two most talented out of the entire 101 in this final season. No kidding. And it just made no sense. And I think people just finally went, there's no way this can be, this is not reflecting what we're voting for.
And to be clear, the votes, voting costs people money as well. So it's also on the other a different kind of fraud as well.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was that aspect that finally got the authorities involved, because at that point it wasn't just, we're making this look better for entertainment's sake, but it was, you're actually stealing people's money if you're taking their money for votes and then not.
Right.
My whole takeaway is just that I hope that the groups are not, it hardly seems fair to allow, especially IZ*ONE and X1, to continue performing, because they were not formed through fair means. But on the other hand, they have worked very hard. They've already been performing as a group, and so a big part of me feels like, and just as a fan, especially of X1, I just want them to keep performing. Selfishly, for my own sake as a fan, I want them to keep performing, but I don't want them to be punished for something that they didn't have anything to do with, and to take it just seems so unfair. So I hope that, I don't know, I hope, and I know at least one of the guys that didn't make it in the group has said they've asked him if he would want to be in the group if they offered him a place, and he's already now performing and promoting as a soloist.
Turns out well for everyone.
I mean, I think it'll probably be good for the careers of those who are so clearly talented, and people are so clearly in their favor because they're the wronged party, and everyone has seen how talented they are, and so I'm guessing they will probably be okay. But then for the people in the groups that were formed, and I'm guessing that not all of them were unfairly placed in that group, right? But now everyone's just kind of in the same.
And several of them are there. They deserve to be there.
Yeah.
Most of them, there's really only two. and you don't know. It's entirely objective which two you think are the ones that probably wouldn't have made it in.
Yeah.
The two that have made it in are very obvious. The two that got in instead, it's a little harder to tell because they are so talented. But
yeah. But that's kind of just going to follow them. The suspicion or this dark shadow is just going to follow them after this, probably.
Especially since they signed a 5-year contract.
Oh,
I mean,
yikes.
I think the first 2 seasons, it was a year each. And for IZ*ONE, it was a year and a half. But they were so popular that X1 signed 5-year contracts. So it's, it's going to be a big deal if they do have to disband. I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. So our next story is about a scandal-ridden television variety show that was pulled off the air last year. Last year? I think it was last year.
Yeah, last year.
So 1 Night and 2 Days has been announced that it's coming back. It has an almost entirely new cast. The only person that's coming back from the old cast is Kim Jong-min, he's like the original member. He's been there since season 1. This will be, we talked a lot about, Jung Jun-young and how he was first dropped from the show after his scandals came out, and then Cha Tae-hyun and Kim Jun-ho had this really minor gambling scandal that they were gambling among themselves with small amounts of money, but people were already so angry that they also got kicked out, and then they just indefinitely canceled the show. So this will be season 4. And I'm really sad that cast is not coming back because I loved season 3 with the exception of that terrible person who I don't want to mention again. So I have mixed feelings. I'm the 1 Night and 2 Days fan on this podcast. I don't know, Lollipip, if you watch this show or if you are a fan of this show in any way.
I have seen episodes. I'm really a completionist. So if I can't start from the beginning and watch every single episode, then it's hard for me to get into something. However, I love these kinds of variety shows. I am a major Running Man addict, and this new cast has me excited. I love Kim Sun-ho. I love Ravi from VIX. So I will probably be tuning into this one.
Yeah, so just to tell who's going to be in there, it's Kim Jong-min, Yeon Jung-hoon, who's an actor, Moon Se-yoon, Kim Sun-ho, Din, and Ravi from VIX. So I think Din and Ravi are both idols. Yeon Jung-hoon and Kim Sun-ho are actors. Moon Se-yoon I'm not as familiar with, but he's also, maybe he's a comedian and a character actor. I don't know much about him. All of these people are people I like, but then on the other hand, like, I'm gonna miss like the Ajushi vibe from season 3, where people just like didn't care about their image and they were very funny and they were like brutally harsh with each other in a really funny way. I feel like everyone has very polished, other than Kim Jong-min, has like very polished sort of personas on this cast, and also I guess with the exception of Moon Se-yoon.
I that Ravi is a hot mess.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. Good to know.
Well, maybe he and Kim Jong-min will bring it down.
His onstage persona is very much like bad boy, tough guy, but he's a goof. He is a humongous goofball, and I think he's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay, I guess I'm only familiar with his onstage persona and like his music, so I did not know that. So that's
He is anything like that because he's not.
Okay, good to know. I think it's premiering on potentially premiering on December 8th, so it should be coming up soon.
Are you gonna watch it, Anissa?
I think I am, yeah. I missed the show enough. Like, it was the only variety show. So, like, Lollipip, I am also kind of a completionist, but when I started watching it, instead of trying to go back and watch seasons 1 and 2, because there were so many episodes, I just started right at the first episode of season 3, and it was, like, so awkward and bad in the beginning, and then it became so good that I, like, really took that journey with the cast, and then, you know, like, Kim Jin-hyuk passed away, I cried for days. I felt like I really bonded with that cast, and I just want to like say a small prayer of remembrance for the amazing comedic genius of Kim Jun-ho and Cha Tae-han, because they were so good and I miss them.
Are they doing any other activities now?
I think Cha Tae-han is coming back with a drama on a cable channel soon.
Oh right, is that one of our upcomings?
Not yet, I don't think.
I think I saw the casting news somewhere.
But, yeah, the casting news has been announced. So yeah, I think that season had a good run. I'm also going to miss DEF CON because he was hilarious. But, you know, I guess new things are coming. I'm tentatively looking forward to it. Definitely going to watch it. Are you going to watch Lollipip?
I'm definitely going to check it out, yeah. For Ravi and for Kim Sun-ho, I think Kim Sun-ho is a lot of fun. I'm sure you guys, I've recapped almost all of his dramas.
I like him as an actor. Yeah.
Except the one he's in now. And I've seen him do some really crazy stuff. So I think if that's what he's willing to do on camera, then he's going to bring a lot of silliness to the show too.
True. So as people have been talking about a lot lately, Parasite debuted in the US in October. And then it went like kind of wide in November, and it's the highest grossing foreign language film in North America this year. So it may be like even it's beat like other previous years as well. Like it's very popular. A lot of people are watching it. People are saying that like industry entertainment reporters are saying that it might even be on the list for Best Picture, not just Best Foreign Language Film at the Oscars. So it's getting a lot of buzz. Obviously, people are loving it. And so with the success of Parasite, CJ Entertainment is kind of looking to expand into the global market. This was like a few days after that, they have announced that like Netflix has entered a 3-year deal with CJ-owned Studio Dragon. And Studio Dragon has made a lot of the really big popular dramas like Goblin and
Mr. Sunshine.
Yeah, so
they're behind pretty much everything these days, I feel like.
They're huge. Yeah.
And they make some really like blockbusters.
Yes, very high production values. They spend a ton of money on their projects.
They're not all necessarily good though.
No, I mean they made some of the ones that they made were Forest of Secrets, Mr. Sunshine, Memories of the Alhambra, Romance is a Bonus Book, Arthur Chronicles, Arthur. So like these are all shows that have already come out on Netflix. So they have a pre-existing relationship. It's not like this is something new, but this is just more like official, and it's like a 3-year contract, and it's going to be, it's a more like official type of partnership. So yeah, I guess, what do you think?
I mean, 80% yay, 20% concerned. Only because I've recapped several of the ones that they've done together. I don't see how the collaboration benefits the dramas. Other than having a higher budget, obviously. I mean, anyone who's seen Arthal, that was crazy, and don't get me started. But I would like to know what the benefit is to the dramas other than just a higher.
I think they get more international exposure through Netflix. So when you're putting it on Netflix, you're putting it into the mainstream, basically.
And that is true.
Yeah, and I think with the launch of Disney Plus, like what Netflix can really depend on is its international global market, and the easiest way for them to get stuff out to their global market, and rather than licensing it in every region, is to just like produce or like exclusively license stuff that then has their name on it, which they can just put out to their already really huge global audience. Whereas like Disney Plus is only in the US, but like they got like 10 million subscribers in their first week. So obviously it's like a threat to Netflix, right?
Yeah, and considering that Netflix is still in the red.
Yeah, I think that was probably 95% because people wanted to see The Mandalorian.
That's true. And I mean, maybe some of those people are just there for the 1 week free trial. Who knows? They're not gonna announce the numbers after the 1 week free trial is over. Like, that's not good news for them.
Mostly, I think the collaboration is going to be a good thing. I think that with the popularity of K-pop right now, and not just BTS, but other groups too are doing really well for themselves. Blackpink, Monsta X, 17's coming next month. I'm so excited. But I read somewhere recently that for language classes in colleges, the Korean classes have had like something like 95% increase in enrollment because people love K-pop and they're getting into K-dramas and they want to be able to understand it more for themselves.
Nice. We have a K-pop like a class about like Hallyu at our school, like for undergrads, and it was full this year. And like apparently my friend is taking it, and she was telling me, she's in Korean with me, and she was apparently like she told her class after like at the end of the semester that she's actually a singer in Korea, and she's like done all yeah, like she's a legit singer, and like they just thought that she was a professor. But apparently she's like done OSTs for some like big dramas and stuff. So that was very cool to find out. I kind of wish I had taken the class now.
This is a good time for them for dramas to hop on this train that K-pop is driving over to the west, and get on that, because I know people that have told me that, I've watched this great show on Netflix and it turns out to be a Korean drama and they've never seen them before, and they're coming to me because they know I'm into them and they're asking me for more recommendations.
Yeah, I think that the Netflix, although it kind of spelled the end of days for drama fever, but Netflix getting into the Korean drama game, it's definitely brought a lot of new fans to it. Like I know a lot of people who were like, yeah, I watched this Korean show on Netflix. Like you know something about those, right? Like you do something that's related to that. I'm like, yeah. So
what I'm getting, I'm having strangers on Twitter messaging me and saying, I've heard you're into this thing. What other shows can I watch?
Interesting. The other thing, I think I agree with you, Lollipop. I think it's a very smart strategy to like for the drama producing part to like jump in. I also just wanted to clarify something that I think I was like not that clear about earlier. But there's like a drama piece to this, which is like this big Netflix deal, and then there's a movie piece. And I thought it was interesting. So Variety, I think, interviewed the CJ's head of international, Jerry Coe, and they introduced him, and he was saying that like we've tried to release like remakes, or like we've tried to sell remakes in the US, but like none of them have actually gotten anywhere. Like none of them have been released, none of them have even been produced out of all the movies that they've sold to the US over the years. So now they're actually going to produce these movies themselves. So they're going to have like a US development and production team that like shares time between Korea and the US. So like the main decisions are going to be made in Korea, but as the business grows, it's going to slowly be, more independent. So I think this is an interesting shift, rather than just them just being like, oh yeah, here's the rights to remake this thing, or here's the rights to this movie. now they're like taking production in the US like into their own hands.
And it must be frustrating to sell rights to all sorts of things and then never see them get made. Because, I mean, as a Korean national, you must be, like, you know, quite excited at the idea of, hey, this film getting a remake or that film getting a remake.
And
I
know
then it
that
doesn't happen.
Yeah, and we've seen these sort of stories where, like, oh, this thing has been sold, and then it just, like, fizzles out and it becomes nothing.
Yeah.
So after a while, you're just like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, like, it sounds like when books are optioned, you just want to sell the...
I was just saying, I thought I heard they were going to do Boys Over Flowers.
But how many times have we heard that?
No one should make Boys Over Flowers anymore.
Yeah, that's a story that just doesn't need to be made.
Let the past die. Kill it if you have to.
With fire.
Yeah. So, sorry, that was a Star Wars reference. I don't know if anyone would get it. But yeah, it's interesting to see where that's going to go.
I did have one more thought to add to that, though.
Yes, please go ahead.
Which is, cause whenever we talk about, like, Netflix and stuff, we talk about, or at least recently, we talk about how it will survive against giants like Disney Plus or the new AT&T service and things like that. But what about the niche providers? Like this, like Netflix is edging out. What about, like, obviously Drama Fever's gone, but there's still like Viki and, you know, Cocoa and places like that. And what effect will this have on those providers? That's what I wonder about.
Yeah, I think Viki specifically provides enough of a community aspect where, like, Netflix is like zero community aspect. You can't even leave reviews anymore. So there's no fan interaction with the content. You're just like receiving it and that's it. You either like subscribe or you don't. So I think Viki provides enough of that. Like, you know, people leave timed comments and you feel like you're watching together as a community, and then you can leave like, I think you can leave reviews. I'm not sure. But then there's also like the fan subbing community. So I think it provides enough that Netflix doesn't provide. And I think it still provides a lot more dramas, right?
Yes.
So
one request of Netflix, because I know that they do their own subs, and I would appreciate it as a viewer and as a recapper if they would not Americanize.
Yes.
And if they would not add in curse words that are not there. Vagabond. Thank you.
Yeah, this is a recurring complaint that we have with Netflix.
It's literally what I was about to say.
There's no reason for that. The writing is already great as it is. Just translate what they're saying. I don't want it to Americanize it. It's really obvious and it's really annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I love the production value that Netflix can bring to a drama, but I hate the subs. Like, they are my lowest ranked subs. I will only go to Netflix if I have no other choices.
Yeah.
The subtitles really are. They lack. You know, people used to complain. We all used to complain about Drama Fever subs, but actually, Drama Fever subs compared to this are really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, Drama Fevers were not that bad.
They weren't that bad. They were actually pretty good. I had more of an
ethical dilemma with them. It wasn't the quality of the subtitles. Yeah, I think also for international, I know that they're not available in the US, but I think in a lot of Southeast Asian countries, you can also get VIU subs, and those have been pretty good quality when I've been able to see them.
Yeah, I like those. And
it's a legal service, but it's not one that you can access here in North America, I don't think.
But you can get the subs.
Yeah. Yeah. They are to be found.
They are to be found.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to some like quicker news stories and like updates. So the first one is that there's going to be a mini Goblin and Reaper reunion. So if you haven't heard, Dong-wook, who played the Reaper and Goblin, is going to have his own talk show. And Gong Yoo is going to be one of his like early guests. So we can see them together again, except, you know, in their real life personas.
Will they sing about underpants, though?
They will most likely not, but you never know. I think I'm going to tune in just to find out.
Oh, man, I hope it gets subbed, because I would like to at least check out that episode.
I can't imagine that it won't.
We'll sub it.
Yeah.
If you have to go on YouTube, you'll be able to find the subs, I promise.
You know, I've been, like, for no real reason, YouTube is just making me watch stuff, and it's been making me watch Return of Superman. So I've been watching the Lee Dong-wook episodes when he's with, is it Lee Dong-wook's kids or 5 kids? And they're just so funny, and he's so funny, and it's all so cute. I love Return of Superman, but I don't actually watch it, I just watch the clips. They're adorable.
Yeah, it's a pretty slow show if you watch the entire. I did watch it for a while, and it's cute, but it's like one of those shows that you have on in the background. It's not something that you watch like fully. But then the cuteness is so cute. Like there are some moments where you're just like, oh my god. So the next story is also an exciting. This is my favorite story of this month. Kim Woo-bin is back. Yay!
Yay!
He made his first TV appearance since he's been away to deal with his throat cancer, and
Nasopharyngeal.
Yeah, nasopharyngeal, yeah.
Nasopharyngeal cancer.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't know
Which is,
the correct
it's
name.
the same thing, more or less.
So he presented at the 40th Blue Dragon Film Awards looking very nice and very healthy and very happy. So we're very happy for him, and we're excited to see him again on our screens.
Teared up a little bit at that. and I was shocked at myself because I'm not particularly emotional either. So I was just watching his little segment. I was like, oh.
I know I mentioned in a previous podcast that I had a hard time recapping Uncontrollably Fond.
Oh, yeah.
I had a friend that passed away of the same illness that he passed away from.
That's
in the
right.
drama.
Yeah.
And he's always been one of my favorites, and then to hear that he was sick also was very frightening. I think he handled it really well, though. I mean, he has stayed out of the public eye. He's actually been finished with treatment for 2 years.
Wow.
I think he was smart to take his time. I think he finished treatment in December 2017. I think he was smart to take his time and rest and make sure he was really, truly healthy.
Definitely, because these actors are so often pressured to get back to work way too early after injuries and after illnesses. So it's really good that he took his time.
So we still hope he doesn't come back too quickly.
Yeah. So a less happy story. So we talked about Kang Ji-hwan's rape case, sexual assault case. He has been sentenced, or no, he has not been sentenced. Prosecutors have recommended 3 years in prison for him. He has admitted that he did all of that, which if you missed that story, he sexually assaulted 2 of the female employees of his agency while they were unconscious at his house. You can read his apology, or I'm using air quotes when I say apology on the internet, but I'm just so thoroughly disgusted with this man, and I don't care that he's appearing to be remorseful. He should get the full punishment that they can manage.
Pretty sure he won't, though.
Yeah.
I feel like he's more likely to get a suspended sentence and probation or something.
Oh God, I hope they at least
good lawyers,
prison
money.
time. Yeah. I feel like he's really leaning on the whole, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize, whatever crap.
Yeah. And the drinks made me do it.
Don't get that drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just that's just an update. I don't think we need to spend too much time talking about this piece of garbage human being. But the other thing, the last news story that I wanted to talk about was that Joon-hyuk has been confirmed to be leading this new NBC time travel or time slip drama. I really want him to have a happy ending where he doesn't die. He's not a villain. He's not getting dismembered. Please, Opa, just be happy. That's all I wanted to say. Does anyone else have thoughts?
I think you'll be saved from dismemberment at least. I mean, it's a fantasy mystery thriller, so no dismemberment, hopefully.
Yeah, it's NBC. I feel like they're not going to go that far. So.
Oh, I've seen some gory NBC dramas.
Oh, really?
I mean, it doesn't come to mind right now, but I remember when something was particularly painful or difficult, I'd look in the corner to see who it was. And you'd be like, this is an NBC drama? What the kid? So yeah, it can happen.
But yeah, I'm really excited for this because I love him, and Nam Ji-hwan is in talks to be the heroine, and I also love her, and I think that would be amazing together. So,
and I like time slips, so I'll be watching this too.
Yes, and it's interesting in the sense that it's not just one person who's time traveling; it's 10 people who are traveling in time, but they're only traveling in time 1 year back. Mm-hmm. So it's rather than you're going back to this time when either you don't belong at all or it's a completely different era of your life, it's oh, maybe you can undo that bad decision that you made 6 months ago.
Or he's a violent crimes detective, so he'll probably just be solving crimes.
Probably. Like, I have more info on this now.
Do you not find that Joon-hyuk lacks a little something when he's like a nice lead, and that he's really much more in the game when he's a bit horrible?
Bite your tongue. He never lacks anything.
I just remembered City Hunter. I bite my tongue. I take it back.
How dare you?
Well, he lacks some limbs anyway, as of right now.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I can continue watching that.
Drama limbs, not real limbs, in case anyone's worried.
Yeah. Are you watching The Lies Within, Lollipip?
No. It's one that I want to watch. I don't have any time.
Yeah. No, it's kind of brutal. So if you have trouble with that kind of stuff, maybe not. Yeah. Maybe wait till you're in the mood.
There's so many things right now that I want to watch, and I'm so busy with recapping and stuff right now, and I just haven't had any time to watch anything.
Yeah, no, I am also, I mean, I'm not recapping, but like it's the end of the semester and I have like so many papers due and I have to start writing my thesis. So I'm in the same boat. No time to watch anything.
I'm reviewing this drama and I'm like 8 episodes behind. So,
oh my goodness, you better catch
6 episodes behind. That's my plan for this week, is just squeeze them in so I can write it next weekend when the finale is.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think we're all excited about this show. So speaking of what's upcoming, let's move on to December upcoming. And before we get into the new shows that we want to talk about this month, I just want to give a quick update. So we discussed Stove League and Crash Landing on You in our previous What's Up in Dramaland. They were originally supposed to air in November, but they've now been moved forward. And Stove League is going to premiere December 13th. Crash Landing on You is airing December 14th. And just to refresh people's memories, Stove League is a baseball drama with Nam Gung-min, where it's like an underdog baseball drama. And Crash Landing on You, which we previously had the title of Emergency Landing of Love, which I think for once the English title is actually better than the Korean title, or like the literal translation of the Korean title. But it's like the North Korea, South Korea, Hyunbin, Sun Ye-jin drama. So any thoughts on these? I know both of you were not on the previous month when we talked, so I just wanted to like get some quick thoughts or quick, like, what are you anticipating most?
I'm gonna watch Crash Landing on You only because the entire premise of it sounds like such a train wreck.
It really does.
Yeah.
Yet the casting is incredible,
right?
So I kind of want to see it. Just obviously they saw something in the script that's not in the broad strokes of the plot.
But it does have a really great director, so it will look good, if nothing else.
Yeah, we'll see.
And it's Kim Jong-hyun's comeback after his illness. Well, yes. I don't know if that's an accurate way of putting that, but he took a break, and hopefully he's better now.
Yeah. So the stuff that I'm also looking forward to Crash Landing on You for all those reasons.
Oh, can I just add one thing to Stove League before we move on?
Sure.
And then you can do a bit again.
Of course.
So yeah, you guys talked about this last month, and I was yelling at my computer as you talked, saying I loved Heart Surgeons and Defendant. So I wasn't planning to watch this, but I think I will because of that. And like Heart Surgeons was like super underwatched and extremely underrated, but it was really, really good.
I remember you saying that you enjoyed it. Yeah.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
It was kind of low key, a bit like Poem a Day, You Forgot Poetry, but more like it was low key in that way, but it was about heart surgeons as opposed to physios. And Pugin Bin, I really like her. Nam Gung-min, I know everyone loves him, but I don't. I will. The last things I saw him in was his supervillain roles, and that was just like, I don't want to watch you anymore. So I'll check it out.
He's so cute.
See which one, sorry?
Anything where he is funny or romantic, which usually is the same thing for him, you should just try one because he is adorable.
You should watch Chief Kim.
Everyone says that, but I'm like, there's no murder.
Okay, we know how bloodthirsty you are. Okay.
And yet I hated him as villains.
All right, so the next drama that I want to talk about is Selection War Between Women. It's airing December 15th. It's going to have 16 episodes, and it'll be on cable drama TV Chosun. And it stars Jin Se-yeon and Kim Min-gyu and a bunch of other people. But it's basically about the competition around the selection of a new queen. And this heroine actually has a twin sister who was murdered, and she decides to become the queen in order to like find out what happened. So it's kind of a revenge drama, I'm guessing. And the king is also, he's like traumatized. He's been shot in the head. He has precognitive dreams. So it sounds pretty involved, the plot. So yeah, I am like, Jin Se-yeon is an automatic no for me, unfortunately, although I like Kim Min-kyu. What do you guys think? Are you anticipating this?
I honestly haven't heard anything about it. Is it a saguk or is it?
It's a saguk. So I think it's set in the Joseon period. But you're right. I haven't heard a lot about it either. I don't think it's gotten, TV Joseon is a really small channel, so I guess they haven't really put out a lot of promotional materials. It looks gorgeous, but I don't know. I'm wary of it just becoming like, here's this cutthroat competition between a bunch of women who are trying to drag each other down so they can marry this one guy, you know?
But it's the director of Princess's Men and Chosun Gunman, which were both, like, the production value of those were amazing. Direction was amazing in those as well.
That, like, doubles my interest. Princess's Man was so good.
And yet we can never watch it again. Ugh.
Yeah.
Thing with Jin Se-yeon is, I know she has, like, there's an automatic knee-jerk reaction in the older fandom, which is like, ugh, no. And I don't hate her, but I also kind of don't love her.
Yeah.
She's kind of very bland, but then again, I think saguk suits her, because you need more restraint for saguk than, overt emotion. So maybe, and she's been doing quite a few saguks lately as well, so it might not be terrible.
The next one is Prosecutor's Diary. It's a JTBC drama. It's airing December 16th, also 16 episodes, and it stars Lee Sung-kyun and Jung Yo-won as just basically overworked prosecutors tackling the cases that they have to deal with. It looks a little on the slice of life side, and it's adapted from a novel. And it's the director of Age of Youth, and also Park Hyun-sun, who wrote Age of Youth, is also listed as one of the writers. So I'm really excited about this. Are you guys excited?
No. I'll be honest. I avoid law dramas unless I have to watch it.
I see.
Really, unless I'm recapping it, I'm not watching a law drama.
I love Jung Yo-won, but everything else sounds kind of not really my thing.
This actually sounds like my thing, so I'm going to watch it.
Jung Yo-won is one of those actresses for me that I like her a lot. I love her acting style, but the dramas she chooses rarely interest me very much.
Yeah, she doesn't pick good shit. She doesn't have a good track record on the shows she's picked.
That's true. She's had some duds over the years.
She's had like 2 or 3 in a row.
I did love Bubblegum. I loved her in that.
Oh, which we recapped together.
Yeah. Bubblegum was horrible. But other than that, every time I've tried to, and King of Dramas. But other than those two, as much as I love her as an actress, when I see she's in something, it kind of makes me go, oh, maybe not.
Interesting.
So I have the opposite reaction. If I see she's in it, I'll be like, oh, let me see what else. Is there any other draw? Because I watched her last 2 dramas because of her. But yeah.
Did she play a prosecutor in her last drama?
Yeah, she did. Oh, not her last one, but the one before last.
Oh, okay.
She did that, the not Jealousy Incarnate, but the one that was by the same people. I can't remember its name right now. The one with Jang Hyuk and... Yeah, Greasy Mellow. Walk of Love.
Yeah. I just put those two together and got Greasy Love. That's all that came to my mind.
That's the drama I want to watch now.
That's what I'm calling it from now on. Okay, the next drama is called Black Dog, and that's literally the Korean title is Black Dog,
Black Dog.
Yeah, so it's it's pretty great. It's also airing December 16th on TVN. It stars So Hyun-jin, Ramiran, and Hajun. Honestly, I had not heard anything about this until I was looking up upcoming dramas, but
it looks good.
Yeah, it does. It's about a young woman who gets a temporary teaching position. She's like fighting for the students' dreams. It's basically looking into the lives of teachers, and it's like a sort of a commentary on society, that type of drama. And the screenwriter and the director both don't really have much previous work, but that's not necessarily.
It's produced by Studio Dragon.
Oh, okay, yes.
I have the opposite reaction to So Hyunjin. I will watch anything that she is in. It can be a law drama. It can be a doctor drama. I'll watch.
No, I'm with you. I love her too. She is.
I mean, it's just brilliant. So I think that this one is definitely one I'll check out.
Yeah.
It sounds like School 2013, but like an all-girls version.
And it's like from the perspective of the teachers more.
I like it. I'm going to check this one out for sure.
Yeah. All right. So that's all the upcoming dramas. There's not a ton this month. I think it's just the end of the year, and we had a ton air like in the previous few months. So
everything is mid-run or sort of having a break before New Year.
I think we could all use a break. Maybe we can use the holidays to catch up a little bit, or if that's even possible. But thank you so much for joining us, Lolly Pip, and for sharing your K-pop industry expertise and your drama expertise and your enthusiasm.
I mean, anytime you guys want me to come do this, I love it. It's a blast.
It's always great to have you.
We love having you as well.
Yeah. All right, then. I think we should end it here. We're looking forward to next month's dramas, and I guess it's a good time to wish everyone happy holidays if you're celebrating, or if not, if you're just gonna sleep and hibernate because it's winter where you are.
And you get a couple of days off work.
Yes, enjoy that too. Bye!
Bye everyone!
Bye!